What is adversity? What does it mean? It's a fancy word for daily problems and challenges. In this video, I'm going to share my story with you guys in terms of how I overcame adversity and what my practical 4 steps were in getting to the other side of this problem. But let's first look at the definition of comfort zone and how that is related to results and adversity. To me, this green circle here in the middle is the easy part. That's what we all do easily every day. The daily tasks that don't require much effort, we don't lose sleep over them, so to say. There is no fear. The problem is that the results are on the other side of this red zone, what I call the discomfort zone. So whether it's a better relationship, more money, new business, or happiness overall, it always requires work. And one of the problems with us people is that we are geared towards sticking to this comfort zone, holding on to it no matter what, because there's fear. Our brain sends a signal to our body to stop doing whatever it's doing if it senses danger. Everything new feels hard. It's like the animals in the nature, if you think about it, in the wild. Their number one job is to stay alive. So their brain is constantly sending signals to the body, whether to stop or do something, because their number one job is to stay alive, see another day. Humans are the exact same way. You talk to a stranger on the street, you ask them to list problems in their life, and they are all able to come up with a list of 20 in a heartbeat. What about the other way around? What's good about your life? What are you grateful for? All of a sudden the list is a lot shorter. This is natural, this is typical for us. And it's because of this, because we hold on to that comfort zone no matter what. Me personally, real story from the past, when I was say 18 or 19 years old, I understood the concept of comfort zone. And I also understood that in order to achieve new things, I had to do something that was hard, that felt almost impossible. Moving to another country, starting a business, whatever that was. Obviously, I wasn't able to describe it this way, but I knew how to do it. But I call it engineered adversity. I was able to control the initial steps. I planned ahead. I had a plan in place to do stuff that was hard for me. So I call it the inside adversity versus the outside version of it. And guess what? This is what I really sucked at. Why is that? I was super naive back in the day. I felt that the problems didn't apply to me. Why? Because I worked so hard and I was able to plan so well and see what was around the corner. So those relationship issues or business issues or whatever in life did not apply to me. Yes, I was super naive and it sounds silly now. And it wasn't until I would say 8-9 years ago when I really started to go through a lot of issues that came from the outside that were not something that I understood beforehand. So all of a sudden I was in a situation where I wasn't able to control it. I had no plan in place. Like back in the day when I myself wanted to move to the US when I was 19 years old or whatever, even though that was hard, but it was in my control. So next I'm going to share what my 4 steps were in being able to get better at this. And if I had to name one thing that I have really improved the most on, it would be this, in dealing with outside adversity in life. So going into practical steps, to me it started with why. Understanding before doing anything, it's like turning your GPS on. Before typing in the destination, you need to understand where you are. And my current state analysis revealed that I had issues with insecurities, and that resulted in a strong need to control things. When I was comfortable with this, I was ready to move to the next step. But step number one, and being analytical and understanding why 7 times for myself, has always been easy. So I can dig really, really deep. But then the harder part was to turn that into concrete actions. I read a lot of material, I listened to a lot of people, I did a lot of research. And the best I was able to come up with for myself, believe it or not, was to start writing stuff down. So I started journaling. Yes, old-fashioned pen and paper. And what I did was that I wrote down every day what I was grateful for, 5 items. And the 5 items, no matter how tiny they were, had to be different than the ones yesterday. So I really had to dig deep into my own life and see what was good about it and be grateful for. Journal. Step number 3 was a big one too. They all are, by the way. So mindset shift. So understanding that adversity is a blessing. So mindset shift. Why is adversity a blessing? Why should we be grateful for all the problems? Isn't that counterintuitive? Is that like torturing yourself? No, it's not. Let me explain. To me, it's all about making sure there is no regrets at the end of the day. If we never fail, we don't try hard enough. At least I want to make sure that when it's all said and done, I'm out of time. I have done everything I ever wanted to do. Live in all those countries, start all those businesses, do everything that I ever wanted to do. But it doesn't happen if I'm always in my comfort zone. Understanding that there's a direct correlation between the results and the adversity, because you have to go through this shark-infested water, so to say. So that's why you need to understand that in order for you to test yourself, see what you are truly made out of, there will be issues, there will be problems on the way. So mindset shift. Adversity is a blessing. And no matter how big the problem is, the size of the opportunity is always the same. One door closes, another one opens. 4, a big one too, and hard to implement. So going from doing these tiny little easy steps on a daily basis to the big ones, meaning then you get to practice it. You practice it when the real stuff happens. This was all to prepare you for the future. But when the real stuff happens, when those daily challenges occur that you had no plan for, then you sometimes have to revert back to number 2 and again start listing the little things down that, okay, now that everything else seems to go down the toilet, what is that I'm still grateful for? 160,000 people die every day. We woke up this morning. We get to fight another fight, live another day. That alone is something to be grateful for. So hope this helps and gives perspective into adversity in our life. But we all have our own tools. This is what works for me. Find out what works for you. Hope this helps. Till next time.